Alright, here it is. The painting advice for beginners that I actually give on Discord. Not the sanitized, vague, just have fun stuff, although that is important because if you're not enjoying the hobby, you might be being too hard on yourself. This is the real feedback based on helping people paint literally hundreds of minis. If you're a good painter already, although good is subjective, but you're expecting to hear brand new secrets, this probably isn't the video for you. But if you're just starting out and you want to avoid the common pitfalls or get a bit further before asking for help, then this is for you. A quick note for this video, I actually exported an anonymized Discord chat from my own Discord, filtered on my own responses to people, and I asked an LLM to summarize the most commonly mentioned points. So what you're about to hear really is the advice that I give most often to the beginners that I'm speaking to on Discord. Yes, this will be skewed by the fact that my Discord is probably a larger percentage of those that are new to the hobby, as many came to me via my starter set review videos, but I imagine it'll apply to anybody beginning their painting journey. First off, you're doing great. You've started the hobby, you're seeking out help, you've maybe even started pretty well. Seriously, a lot of the minis posted for feedback have smooth coats, bold color choices, and a ton of effort already put in. So that's already miles ahead of the average starter box casualty. So if nobody's told you yet, you are doing a good job. Now, you want to level up? Let's start here. Neatness. Clean up those lines as much as you can. Little overlaps, shaky borders, paint that's wandered off like it's on a gap year in Europe. It's time to rein it in. Tidy brushwork makes everything look better, even if the colors are basic. And this really is about brush control. I have a video on it, but it's probably the most common thing for beginners. And frustratingly, it's also the thing that takes the longest to perfect. I started painting again in 2018. I've been awarded in various competitions and I'd consider myself to be like a decent painter, but I'm still learning brush control to this day. So don't stress if you feel like there's a mountain you have to climb before you can get anywhere. It's not. You improve as you continue. Just keep going. Also, getting a better view on the mini will also help this. So whether that's magnifying glasses or better lighting, which we will get to, it's a good idea to give yourself the best chance of seeing the detail that you might be missing. Okay, next one. Beginners can get solid results by leaning on washes. You don't have to waterboard the mini with Null Oil like it owes you money. Oh, 30 quid for a fucking starter set. Give me my money back. But yeah, a bit of washing into the recesses, total game changer. It gives you depth, contrast, and definition with minimal stress. Over time, you might wean yourself off using them in a more general way and find that you start using them for specific shading, darkening, or effects. But if you're still getting your feet under the table, a wash can really make a difference. Next up is edge highlights. Yes, I know they're annoying, but they're worth it. Just hit the top edges with a slightly lighter version of your base or your mid-tone color, and suddenly your mini has cheekbones, abs, and a skincare routine, right? I get that it's going to be difficult at times and it can feel laborious, but hitting those edge highlights gives the model readability, and that is one of the key things when you're painting miniatures. The basic shapes and the detail should be visible at a reasonable distance, and that often means highlighting the edges. Okay, it's one that I mention a lot on the channel, so give me a break, but let's cover brushes once more. If it's worth saying once, it's worth saying again, or something, I don't know. Basically, if you're still using that brutal starter brush that came with the Warhammer set, bless your heart, but consider upgrading to a natural hair brush. Ideally, Kolinsky Sable. It'll keep a nice point for much longer, and it should have a better spring in it. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I partnered with a brush company called Hawk Miniatures. They produce Kolinsky Sable brushes at a very affordable price point, just a few quid. Ideal for beginners. I also put together a starter pack of brushes with them, which will give you a range of sizes, and you can get them with regular or deluxe handles, which are a little bit chunkier, maybe easier to hold. Having a good brush makes such a difference, and you'll find that it improves your enjoyment of the painting experience. Please, please trust me on this one, okay? Let's talk primers and base coats. I feel like it's worth telling you that a primer can often just be like a light dusting, especially rattle cans and spray primers. You don't need to drench the mini because a thick coat's going to start obscuring all the detail. Aim for less and then use your first brushed on coat or airbrushed coat to give yourself that lovely full coverage. On a similar topic, you can improve your metallic paint jobs by using a dark base coat. Black under silver and brown under gold is a good start. You can base coat or prime white under bright or punchy colours to make them pop, but either way, remember your primer isn't necessarily your base coat. Prime is to help the paint stick, base coats are your first solid layer. And since we're covering paint application, let's talk thinning. Here is the simple version. Use a bit of water to thin and dilute your paints so that they go on smoother and they layer more gradually. After your base coat, which doesn't always need thinning, you'll get far better results building up in multiple thin layers than you will with one thick coat. Trust the process. Slapping on a chunky coat is like painting a wall with peanut butter. Instead, build it up. Multiple coats, smooth blends. It's not fast, but it is sexy. Now for the advanced bit, different paints behave differently. Lighter colours can go chalky, some ranges need more thinning than others, and you can bring in mediums like glaze medium to help control your consistency. Don't stress if that feels overwhelming, it comes with experience, so for now just remember, thin a little, test on the palette, and add layers with patience. I've got a video on that too if you want a deeper dive. Okay, now dry brushing. Is it lazy? Sometimes. Is it effective? Absolutely, especially on texture heavy stuff like fur, sand, stone, chainmail and so on. If you're a beginner and you need some quick effects, grab a busted old brush or a set of dry brushes, load it up, wipe as much off as you can and then whap it lightly over the area required. It's easy to put too much on and then you end up applying lots of texture. So the key here is wipe off more than you think you need to. You can always load it up again, but you'd be surprised how much still shows up even after you've basically removed it all from your brush. Top tip, you can also get a dry brush palette and test on that if you need to. Okay, here's one that's less about the miniature and more about your setup. Get a good light to paint under. It doesn't have to be a 100-pound beast, but it should have the ability to give you cool light which doesn't skew your paint jobs. Daylight lamps, hobby task lamps, that sort of thing. I find the brighter the better, but you could always have a few of them. It's going to depend on your setup, to be honest, and I've listed the one that I use in the description. And the last thing to take note of, it really is that this takes time and reps. Your first 50 miniatures, they're just warm up. The only real cheat code here is showing up, painting and learning what works for you. It can be intentional practice or just painting as much as you can. The more you paint, the better you should get. And if you're picking techniques to learn, practicing them and building your library of brush tricks, by the time you're a year or two in, you'll be able to do what you need, aided by the fact that you've got a good grasp of the techniques that work for you. So yeah, keep going. Every brushstroke makes the next one better, and if no one's told you today, your paint job looks sick. Now go finish that squad and post it in the Discord. I'll be watching and on hand to give you feedback if required. Feel free to drop me a comment, you can like the video, you can subscribe on YouTube for free, you can join the Discord for free, and thank you to all those on there who have already done so and ultimately helped me shape this video into something actually useful. If you so wish, you can also support me by buying me a coffee, or more accurately a paint, on Ko-Fi or Coffee or however you want to pronounce it. And until next time, I will see you later.